Hey guys, it's Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to talk about the XFL logos. And if you already looked at the thumbnail, you know they got it right. That's right. The logos, the colors, man, they are sharp, they look good, and they did exactly what I wanted the AAF to do. Now, if you watched my previous video, you know that in there I said that I liked the names when they use like a creature or an animal or like some type of persona, and that's exactly what they did with these logos. So what I want to do is I want to briefly go through each one of them, give you my initial thoughts on each one of the logos, and then we'll actually, in another video, we'll go through, I'll rate them all, and then we'll pick which one we like, I'll tell you which one I like the best through the ratings, and we'll go through and rate them, and I'll show you all my rating system, and we'll have a little fun with the logos before we actually get into the real football and stuff. But man, I am excited about these. Man, they've got me just excited and ready for February 2020. So let's go ahead. I'm not doing these in any specific order. I'm just going to start with them as I see them on my screen here, and I'm just going to talk about them, and we'll just see where we go. So I'm briefly going to give you my initial thoughts with it, and then we'll get out of here. All right, so I'm starting off with the St. Louis, and they ended up with being the BattleHawks, and I thought that this was a cool name. It's not really anything I've really kind of seen with St. Louis before, so I thought that was kind of cool. They kind of tied it with this kind of like aviation type of a thing with it. So for me, it was a neat kind of a little homage to aviation and that, and the colors too. I really like the light blue with this like silver/gray and kind of this white thing. I mean, it really reminds me of like some fighter jet and kind of like, that type of, just kind of, just strong presence in the air. So the BattleHawks, I really think is kind of a cool name. It's something that, I kind of, I kind of liked, and I was like, yeah, I could get around that. And with it being St. Louis, I'd never really seen a name like that before with regards to St. Louis. So I thought it was kind of cool. It's like, that's all right, not bad. For me, I'm wondering, they do the helmets, if they're going to do something with the wings on it. I don't know. And for some reason, nobody else might get it might not trigger this in them or not. But for me, it kind of gives me like this archangel type of a look and feel, kind of like with the wings, the way the wings are, and that sword in the middle. That sword was kind of a cool thing to me, so we'll see how they use that sword in the branding and stuff like that. But I thought that was neat, but, maybe they'll do something with the wings on the sleeves of the jerseys or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. But overall, good job. Not too bad. The second one we're going to look at here is we're going to look at Tampa Bay. And they went with the Vipers, and that is classic what I'm talking about. Go with that creature name, kind of the thing that puts fear, and snakes, Florida, it works. And the colors that they picked are just bright and vibrant, just kind of, stuff that you'd see with Florida. One of the things with AAF that kind of, I was kind of like, is when they used the green and they used the yellow, they used a dull yellow and they used a dull green, and they really just kind of were reserved with the colors, whereas these are vibrant, man. They stick out there, that yellow and that green, and believe it or not, with them both being bold, and they got kind of like some hints of a darker green in there too. So who knows if that darker green will be the base color, whatever. But man, it really just makes it pop, and it does kind of give me that, that kind of like Everglades, Florida feel. Now, granted, I know it's Tampa Bay, so it's a little bit of a different area than Florida, but they're kind of going with the video. If you watch the video online, they're kind of going with that kind of a Florida type of a theme with it. But to be all honest with you, I thought it was great, and I liked it. So that was pretty good with me. So yeah, overall that one was pretty good. All right, so next, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the New York Guardians. Now, I thought that this one was probably one of my all-time favorites. One of my favorites. All right, I thought that this one was exactly it was perfect. I loved the way that it was. It probably wasn't my favorite one, but it was definitely one that I really liked. So the New York Guardians, they did exactly with the New York Guardians what the AAF tried to do with theirs, but they pulled it off, whereas the AAF didn't really get it. And the AAF was almost too specific with it. With this Guardians, it kind of leaves it open. Excuse me. And with New York, it gives it this kind of a, man, like the gargoyle thing. Oh, man, I really like that. And the way that they did the gargoyle, that, they made it look kind of this predator look, like this predator, like cat look, as opposed to just like this, kind of like that gremlin type of a look. I really like it. It made it look powerful and strong. Now, I love the red accents. The red accents to me are just sharp. That's really kind of just really sets things off, and it's something that everybody can get around. Everybody can get around Guardians. It reminds me. It really takes me back to kind of the whole Gotham City and Batman type of a thing. Yes, I'm a nerd. Yes, I like my superheroes. And yes, this falls right in the line with that. Guardians, the Cape Crusader, and the whole Gotham City kind of a thing. The vigilante protecting the city, lurking in the backgrounds, like that was awesome. And the video did great too. I'd love to see them with kind of the their branding and stuff. I'd love them, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures they did, but with like the skyline in it, and kind of use that in some of their branding and maybe their jerseys or something with their helmets. One of the things that is going to be tough is to see how they do the helmets, and that if they're going to go with like a simpler look and not use the gargoyle type of a thing, but kind of go with more of a a simpler look. It'll be interesting to see. But man, spot on. You nailed it with that one, and that was really good to see. Now, this next one, Seattle Dragons, is another one I really, really like. I like the mythological, good night, I can't even sing, mythical creature. And with the Dragons, I love it. I love everything they did with it. I loved how in the video they kind of tied it with Seattle and being there on the sea and the crashing sea and this creature coming out of the sea, and they went classic dragon with it, and they put some kind of in kind of the art they went through, and they did kind of those like a little bit of modern tweaks, but man, they went with like a classic dragon. And dragon's kind of one of those strong names that you do kind of see some with teams, but you don't see it with the professional teams very often. And so to see this, I thought this was cool, and for them to go out on a limb with these colors and pick the 4 colors that they did, man, that was really good. And I'm really curious and looking to see how they're going to lay that out with their jerseys and their helmets and that. I'm really going to be curious. I hope they use the dragon on their jerseys and stuff, and maybe they'll use that fire or something with it. I don't know. That would be kind of cool in that. But, man, that's awesome. And I love the Dragons. And again, it's one of those names where like everybody can get around it. Like, strong dragons. That's cool. It's it's good. It's not just something that sticks in the region, but they kind of tied it to the region. So it's kind of cool. Now the LA one, that one to me was just all right. It's probably my least favorite. Spoiler alert. It was very simple. The colors are kind of got an orange hue to them, that yellow and the red, but they mesh together real well. So nothing wrong with that. Totally fine with that. It left me kind of wanting more. The name is kind of the Wildcats have been used a lot. And so it just kind of was all right, but I get it with LA, right? All the some of our other markets, they'll sell things just because it's a another professional team, and people are excited about it. They'll go ahead and they'll sell merchandise. Whereas with LA, a lot of times with the branding and stuff and apparel and things like that. Sometimes it's easier to use a simpler logo that you can do a few more things with, and that'll that'll work with different styles and different things like that. So I kind of get that with going a little bit more simpler, a little bit more basic with that, especially because a lot of your other ones are a little bit more busy. Not that I don't like it. I really do like them, but those ones are a little busy. So I could see going a little bit simpler with this one, and I could see them doing some neat color scheme things with this, and kind of maybe give it that. I'm kind of almost getting like a USC type of a vibe with it too. So I don't know. We'll see where they go with it. Not my favorite, but again, I'm okay with it. All right, so the next one has me really excited. And, when I saw it, I was just like, oh, that is so awesome. So the next one I'm talking about is the DC Defenders. I saw that logo. I saw that shield, and the little Tyler inside of me just jumped for joy. I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Yes, that's right. Like I said it before, I am a nerd, and man, did it just get that little superhero nerdy side of me just going with it. Man, seeing that shield with those stars and the DC in it reminded me of the DC comics and the accent lightning bolts. Oh man, it was awesome. I thought it was spot on. I love the Avengers type of font with it. I mean, I was just seeing Justice League in my head. I was thinking Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman, and then Captain America. It just took me right there with it. And I loved how in the video they tied it in with just being patriotic and being American and American football, and football is American, and oh man, it was awesome. It's just patriotic. I loved it. Colors are simple and that, but man, it just, like I said, I just felt like I was just in the comics world and that, and I loved it. We'll see how they use it all and how they design it all for the games and stuff. But man, that was good. It's spot on. Not a whole lot more I can say about it. Simple, nice, and easy. It's got a classic feel to it, classic look, kind of that classic football feel, with it, and it kind of ties in with kind of classic comics too. So it all worked for me with this one. This one got me giddy. So good job again, XFL. The next one is exactly how the AAF should have done theirs. Now I mentioned it, where the AAF tried really way too hard, the XFL has done it right. So they went with the Roughnecks for Houston, and if you didn't guess, Houston's the next one we're talking about here. But I love how they did the oil rig. They went with the whole oil thing, the theme, kind of paying homage to the old Oilers. Man, I thought it was great. They tied it to the region. They tied it to the history of the region. But the Roughnecks, I mean, regular people, we can get into that, right? We can root for the Roughnecks with it. We get that. I like that. I like the way that they did that. I mean, it's great. Classic red, white, and blue. America, I love that too. Colors, you got to have that team that's your red, white, and blue. So definitely good. I love how they have the H for Houston in the logo. I think that's great. With the Roughnecks, just kind of, those guys that run those oil rigs, they're hard-nosed guys, and kind of tying that in with the Roughnecks and that, and kind of a football type of a thing. Man, I love it. The thing that I'm kind of curious about is how they're going to tie in this. If you look at their logo, they got the star at the top. I'm kind of curious how they're going to tie in that little star, if they're going to use that kind of to accent things in their branding and on their jerseys and on the helmets and stuff like that. So it'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of neat if they kind of did a star stripe down the middle of their helmets or something like that. I don't know. They might not use it at all in their branding, but I thought it was kind of a cool little accent that they had there on the top using that star. So it was kind of neat. Again, great job. AAF, that's how you should have done it. Good job, guys. All right, guys, so let's finish it up here. The last one, let's get to the Dallas Renegades. And this one, I liked it. It was okay. Nothing too special here for me. Some of you guys might think that the logo's a little dated. Some of you might think that all these logos are dated. I don't necessarily agree. I'm okay with it. With this one in particular, I can kind of see where you're kind of coming from with the dated thing, but I like it. Nothing too special about it. I think that it was cool what they did with accenting with the red eyes, and that kind of outlawish kind of a logo with it. So that was fine with me. The name, I think it's great. Use that kind of generic name, and it's just Texas. You can't really get much more Texas than, that kind of classic cowboy. And with a name like Renegade, it's something that we can all rally around, And so color scheme, pretty much pretty good color scheme. Light blue with the accent, light blue, black with the accent of the red. Pretty much I don't see them getting too creative with the jerseys or with the helmet. I see pretty much they're going to probably use the logo on the helmet and, pretty much black or the light blue with the accent of the red, or they'll probably use everything will be a base black with accenting things with the blue and the red. So I'm not really too excited to see how they do the jerseys and the helmets with this, because to me, I don't see, really a whole lot they can do with it. This one, I like it. It's okay. This one doesn't get me excited like the other ones, but overall, it's great. So overall, I am super happy. I'm super excited. And believe it or not, after seeing the logos, I'm more excited about the XFL than what I was before. So, Oliver Luck, Vince, you guys did it. You hit it out of the park. You did great with your logos with this. Now, we'll go through and we'll dive deeper into these and kind of give them a grade and have a little bit of fun with them in later videos, but I just kind of want to get my initial thoughts out there. I'm excited. I'm excited for some XFL football coming in February. It's going to be great. It's going to be cool. But what's your thoughts? What do you think? I'd like to hear, if you thought that these were good logos, if you thought they were bad, if you hate the colors, what are your thoughts on it? So please leave some comments down. Let's start some discussion. Let's talk about this. Let's have some fun with some speculation and some stuff. What you like, what you don't like, what got you excited, what you hate. I don't know. But let's start some discussion. So go ahead and put your comments down there in the comments section. If you like the video, like the video. If you like the content here, stay around, subscribe. Love to have you around here. All right. I know this video's kind of been a little bit longer, and so I'm going to go ahead and end here, because I know you guys are busy, and I know I'm busy. So let's get out of here, and you guys have a good night. I'm going to have a good night. All right. Take care.